Good morning, everyone. As you can tell from the title, this is a Sciencetalk article, and the subject is contact lenses that get darker as you have exposure to the sunlight. If you remember, if you go back to my channel, I did a science talk about contact lenses that are not yet available through the FDA, which are designed to detect glucose in tears. So they're supposed to be used for people who are diabetic or people with metabolic disease, any kind of metabolic issue. This time they have contact lenses that the FDA has apparently just approved. This is coming from CBS News, published yesterday evening. The FDA is approving the first contact lenses that get darker in the sunlight. It's in the health section of CBS News. However, I would also like to say that it could be in the technology section, biotechnology section as well. Because it could help people with retinitis pigmentosa, or even other sun exposure related issues with the eyes, people who are diabetic as well, who have issues with eyesight and retinopathy or neuropathy. So AccuView Oasis, as you know, AccuView is a company that produces contact lenses, and it's a very popular brand. They have AccuView Oasis with HydroClear, AccuView Oasis for astigmatism. You can go on, Google AccuView. You can go to 1-800-CONTACTS and see all the different brands and versions of the contact lenses they offer. So they're trying to adapt the transitions lens prescription and the transition lens technology from glasses into a contact lens. So we'll have transitions light intelligent technology. This is why I would have liked to see this in a technology section as well. But it's coming from Johnson & Johnson, so I have questions just because of the company, the corporation that it's coming from. If it was Procter & Gamble, I would have the same questions, because this kind of comes out of nowhere. It just they haven't gotten FDA approval for contact lenses that detect glucose in tears, but they've approved contact lenses that get darker when you're out in the sunlight. So the article says the US FDA has signed off on the first ever transition contact lenses, which will get darker when the wearer is out in sunlight. Quote, this contact lens is the first of its kind to incorporate the same technology that is used in eyeglasses that will automatically darken in the sun, end quote. And that's coming from the FDA's Malvina Eidelman, and they said that in a press release. You can go to this link in red and see an article about their statements there. The FDA tested the new transition contact lenses on 24 patients to make sure there were no problems with driving during the day and at night. None of the users reported any trouble with the contacts prior to the FDA's announcement, CBS New York reports. Okay. So they've already done the testing prior to having 24 patients test them with driving. And I have a couple of questions about this testing on 24 patients. One, the sample size is small. Two, if they did the tests in mice, how did they get the contact lenses on to a mouse's eye without the mouse? I mean, I'm sure that if they did the testing in mice, they had to anesthetize the mouse, put them under anesthesia, and then for an extended period of time, or maybe not even an extended period of time, but the size of the contact lenses they used would have had to be extremely small, where you need to use a microscope or some type of viewing instrument to put the contact lens onto the mouse's eye. When they go out, their eyes, they don't close. So you put the contact lens on the mouse's eye, and then when they wake up, they're just supposed to walk around. Oh yeah, this is great. No, a mouse is usually, when they wake up, one of the first things they do is probably to rub their eyes, rub their face. You're waking up from anesthesia. So they didn't rub the contacts out of their eye. So I have questions about that. I need to look up the actual studies they did, if they use mice or rats. Maybe they use primates to do this study prior to doing it in patients. So those are my questions. How many times they do these studies? What were their sample sizes? Were there multiple institutions doing the studies? What were their safety and hazard precautions, if they had any at all? It says the AccuView Oasis transition contact lenses are from Johnson & Johnson Vision Care Incorporated. Someone else says this innovation was born out of deep research into consumer lifestyle needs. Dr. Zhao Yu Song, head of research and development for Johnson & Johnson Vision, said in a statement. They say, we are excited to bring to market a solution to help contact lenses wearers manage the changing light conditions they face every day in their modern active lives. So they want to make your lifestyle easier by allowing the contact lenses to darken as you're in sunlight. Now, if you live in Seattle, this might not be a contact lens you want to wear because you don't get much sunlight and it rains a lot there. However, SoCal, where we get sun a lot, we don't get much rain. Yeah, it may be beneficial, but I also have another question before I go on, which is how quickly do these contact lenses transition? Because if you're driving at night and you're driving on the highway, you're constantly having people's headlights towards you, flashing in your eyes. How quickly do the contacts darken? Because if they darken within a few milliseconds, you're going to have issues with driving at night. I don't care what the 24 patients said. Okay, I'm sure they were commensurated for their, for their activity, for their participation. They were probably paid for their participation. And you can always skew surveys and pre and post study surveys for that. And even after that, you can change, you can adjust statistics. So I just have questions. These are just questions I have. They may not be questions you have, but let me know in the comment section what you think. Dr. Song also said the product development took more than a decade and involved numerous clinical trials involving more than 1,000 patients. Okay, so I was wrong. They have used a very large sample set of patients, I hope throughout the entire country and not just one segment of the country. And I hope it was different patients with different backgrounds, not ethnic backgrounds, but health backgrounds. Maybe some who are standard patients, some who are diabetic, some who may have other, health issues, just to give a wide array of patients who would be wearing these once they have passed FDA approval. Johnson & Johnson says the new lenses will hit the market during the first half of 2019. The FDA says the AccuView Oasis lens will be capable of daily use for up to 14 days, but warned that users should not sleep with them or expose them to water. Okay. Now we know, those of us who wear contact lenses, that you're not supposed to sleep in contact lenses for long periods of time. You can damage your eye that way. You can also damage the contact lens that way, because your eyes are not able to breathe. They're not able to produce tears properly. So what happens is the tears and mucus in your eye begins to collect around the contact lens, and over time those proteins build up and it can cause damage to your eyes. But when they say you should not expose them to water, okay, if somebody's swimming In the daytime, if they're a swimmer or they want to go swimming at the beach in the daytime, the contact lenses will get darker. Why can you not expose them to water? Normal contact lens wearers, I have contacts, and I expose my contacts to water. If I'm in the shower washing my hair, or at the beach or something, they're getting exposed to water. So what is it about this particular recipe that they use to make the contact lenses that makes them not be able to be exposed to water? So let's go on and see. Maybe they explain that down below. Ravi Goel, MD, clinical spokesperson for the American Academy of Ophthalmology, calls the transitioning lenses interesting technology, but says he has concerns when it comes to excess sun exposure, which can put people at risk of eye damage. That's very interesting too. I hadn't thought about that. You'll have idiots out here with transition contact lenses, and they'll be staring at the sun, thinking that the contact lens is going to save them. Oh, wow. So they say here, if your eyes are exposed to strong sunlight for too long without protection, UV rays can damage the cornea and adjacent tissues. Long-term sun exposure has also been linked to an increase of cataracts, macular degeneration, and growths on or near the eye, Goel told CBS News. So it's a serious issue and one that shouldn't be ignored. Patients should be told clearly that these contact lenses will not provide UV protection. He recommends taking steps to protect your eyes from harmful UV rays, including not looking directly at the sun, wearing a hat, and investing in the proper sunglasses. So what's the point of wearing the contact lenses? Because you do all this stuff anyway with regular contact lenses. They say look for sunglasses labeled UV 400 or 100% UV protection, which block both UVA and UVB radiation, which will protect you from about 99.9% of UV rays. You may not get this quality of vision with contact lenses, whether or not they have transitions. I personally wouldn't go near the water or spend time in bright sunlight without wearing my polarized sunglasses. So the polarized sunglasses are the UV 400, and some of them say UV 400 or they say 100% UV protection, and those are actually very expensive. You can go on, there's certain websites you can go on if you want to buy glasses. I have one here. I was just looking for glasses myself, looking to order glasses myself. There's a website someone told me about called Zenny Optical, where you can order your own glasses. So they have all different types. They have children's glasses. They have glasses for men and women. Hold on, let me see. So for instance, let's just click men's premium sunglasses. And click that. It'll show you different, they start at a base rate, and then you go from there. And you pick what kind of sunglasses you want. Like, let's just pick these, and then you can start designing your glasses. You can determine how dark you want them to be. You can go up to, it says this is a polarized gray tint. These start at $35.95, so basically $40 with the tax and everything. So that's an option for people who want to, order your own sunglasses instead of paying the expensive amounts that you'll pay if you go to, oh, that looks interesting. If you go to your ophthalmologist or optometrist, especially if you don't have a vision plan at your job or that you have done independently. So yeah, that's the end of this article. It's very interesting. I hope that there's more information. If I find more information, I'll come back and edit this video and add those links in the description box. But that's it for now. I'll talk to you all later. I will leave the link, of course, in the description box, and I'll also leave the link to Zenny Optical for your perusal in the description box if you wish to, purchase glasses from there. But yeah, there are a lot of flaws in the studies. I hope that people are safe and that they listen to what Dr. Goel was saying at the bottom, that it's important to still protect yourself and not depend on this type of technology to protect you completely from the sun. So be safe out there, and I'll talk to you later. Have a great day.